Hey guys, welcome to another watch review. Today we're looking at something really cool and different than everything else I've done before. This is a vintage, circa 1972 Omega Speedmaster Mark II. Now, back in the 70s, Omega, or actually late 60s, because this was introduced in 1969, Omega started to do some different designs for their Speedmaster series. There was never a Mark I, but there is a Mark II, which is this one, a Mark III, a Mark IV, and a Mark 4.5. And they each have a different case shape than the usual Speedmaster. But at least this one, the Mark II, and the regular Speedmaster have a lot in common. They share a movement. This is a caliber 861, and this is the same movement that the Speedmaster was using at the time. And it's just about the same as the 1861 movement that's in the modern day Speedmasters. And if you look here at this Speedmaster, this is a new one, it's just a couple years old. You can see from the dial layout how the sub-dials are in the same place and have the same functions. And that's because these movements are just about the same. So you can actually get this Speedmaster, the regular one, with this dial. This is called the exotic dial, or the red, orange, gray dial, or maybe even the Japanese racing dial. And the regular Speedmaster was made with this exotic dial for a little while. So you can see how they're different in that respect, but the case shape is very different. The regular Speedmaster has your normal watch case design with the lugs are not integrated like they are here, or actually they call them hooded lugs or shrouded lugs. See, the lugs are, the bracelet attaches on the inside of the case. You can see that in the back there, unlike a regular watch like this Speedmaster here. So okay, let's put that away. So this is a 41 3/4 millimeter case, not including the crown. And it's 14.55 millimeters thick, so it's a pretty chunky watch. Now, this watch, the Mark II, is the first Speedmaster that departed from the traditional Speedmaster design, and the other watches in the Mark series are different in different ways. None of them have the same 861 hand-wind movement. This is a hand-wind watch. But the Mark 4.5 has the same case, but the other ones have different case shapes. So Omega really made a lot of changes in the 70s and threw a lot of different things, out there to the public. So as you can see on the dial, the chrono hands, the seconds hand, the minutes hand, and the hour hand are a very bright orange. I'm not sure how they're going to show up in the video, but they're a very deep and dark orange. Then the dial is gray. It's not black. And around the edge of the dial, you have orange markers at each 5-minute mark, and then there's a red ring that goes around it. And then here is the black tachymeter ring. I think that's part of the crystal, actually. And this watch is a mineral crystal. Now, this bracelet is original to the watch. It's all hollow, so it's an extremely light bracelet, especially compared to what Omega is doing today, which are all solid. It has a clasp like this. It doesn't have a flip lock. It's just a very simple clasp, but it gets the job done. And then on the case back, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's the hippocampus, and it says, it's engraved with the word Speedmaster. Some of these watches actually have Seamaster case backs, and apparently those can be original, and Omega just kind of used whatever they had. So if you get one with a Seamaster case back, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So this is about a 40-year-old watch, but this one happens to be in excellent condition, and as you can see, it really looks almost new. So I really like this watch. It's very different. This is the only vintage I have in my collection. The dial is really cool. This exotic dial. It looks great in person. It has some good color without being too colorful to wear all the time. So it's a cool but not a clownish colorful dial. I like the case shape. The hooded lugs are interesting. It's my only watch like that, and it's not something you really see today. It's not a very popular style, but I do like it. And this bracelet is very comfortable. It has a big taper. You can see how skinny it gets. The watch has 20mm lugs, but what Omega did was made, let's see if you can see what's going on here. You can see the end link, what's attached to the case is actually, that's 20mm, but then right away it gets thicker. And they made this second link thicker so it would kind of be the same width as the case here. So when you put a regular 20mm strap on, like this Omega Mesh, see how that's, let's see, you can see how it's narrower, and how the bracelet for this is pretty thick here, but it gets really tapered down. So this watch also, it looks good on the original bracelet, and I think also on the Omega Mesh. Here, I'll just show you this quickly. If you've ever wondered what the Omega Mesh is like, I think it's a pretty cool strap. It has all these, I think they're individual pieces, but the way it's put together and the bevels that they cut on each little piece, I think that's what's holding it together. So it actually has a lot of shape to it, and it doesn't twist and kind of fall apart like I thought it would. I thought mesh would be really just flop around and stuff, but it's actually it really holds its shape interestingly. And the clasp is like an airplane seatbelt. You pull this up all the way, and then this piece just pops out. And then you just let go of it and put it back together. And it has a lot of micro adjustments here, but if you need to make it bigger, you buy an extension piece. And let me just open this. For this and these mesh links in front of it, that's the extension. And it just has a pin system, so you can just add as many of them in here as you need it. So that's pretty cool. So this is the Omega Speedmaster Mark II. It's a vintage watch, so it's obviously not in production anymore. You have to buy it used. It's a great watch. It's a great way to start a vintage collection like I've done with it, and if you can get one with the exotic dial, I would highly recommend it. It also comes with a more traditional Speedmaster dial that looks just like this one, and then there's a gold version of it that's very rare, and then one more version that's extremely rare. So this exotic dial is rarer than the regular black dial, but you can still find them. They're out there. So thanks for watching my review, guys, and if you want to see more watch reviews, you can check